Hi, this is Ryan Kelly, Managing Editor for JEMS, and I'm here at EMS today at the Pulsara booth, and I'm going to talk with Brandon Means here about a little bit about Pulsara.
All right. Nice to meet you, Ryan.
All right. Can you tell me a bit about Pulsara? I know it's a pre-hospital notification app, but can you tell me how it works?
Sure. We've actually been around for a couple of years now, and I was fortunate enough to get to use Pulsara as a clinician prior to coming to the Pulsara team. And what we do is we use a cloud-based mobile technology, so we use smartphones, any smartphone, iOS or Android, as well as tablets, to communicate. So we replace the old ways of communication like pagers, multiple phone calls, fax machines, overhead pages, the oral tradition of repeating the radio report to 3 different people before handing the patient off. And we tie all that in together using mobile technology. So we tie the pre-hospital teams to the emergency room teams to the teams that are past the emergency room, like cath lab teams and stroke teams and trauma teams.
So if I'm on the ambulance and I have a stroke patient, and I would normally call in a stroke alert, and I would have to send my ECG, and so does this do all of this at once, or how does it work?
It does. So we're a communication platform, but a cool thing that we're doing is that we have noticed, or that we've realized, is that we are changing communication into data. So instead of giving that 2-minute radio report and being at the mercy of whoever's on the other end of that phone line writing down whatever you're saying correctly, and then sending an ECG to a fax machine, and then you're limited to what you can say over radio. You can't give name, date of birth. Using Pulsara, since it's cloud-based, since nothing ever touches your personal device and it's fully HIPAA compliant, you can send images not limited to a 12 lead. So I can send driver's license information, I can send medication lists. With a few taps of a button, I can send that to the ER, and then I don't have to repeat it over and over. It goes to the entire team.
So is it just kind of the press of a button and I'm alerting everybody?
It is. So I enter a couple of fields. I enter my scene departure time, and then it uses my GPS location to give the hospital an ETA. And then I enter a patient name, and then everything from that point down is pretty much optional. I can enter as much information as I need en route or from the scene. And then that information becomes data. So any time that we capture, any time something is communicated or transmitted, that's a data point. And so we can capture tons of metrics from first medical contact in the field all the way through definitive care, whether that's a cath lab or a stroke case, whatever the time-sensitive emergency may be. We capture all those data points simply by communicating.
And how are you finding, I believe, how many systems are using Pulsara now?
Oh gosh, I believe over 60 hospitals just here in the United States.
Oh, wow.
So we've got hospitals from coast to coast using Pulsara all through the United States, plus in Australia. So we went global last year, had a successful implementation down in Victoria, Australia. Those medics down there are super progressive, and they seem to be using it really well. So we're getting some really good data, some really good feedback, and most importantly, some good patient outcomes.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Brandon, for talking to me today about Pulsara.
Thanks, Ryan.
This has been Ryan Kelly for the Journal of Emergency Medical Services, and I'm here at EMS today at the Pulsara booth.